Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're stepping right into the high-stakes world of modern real estate development. We're looking at a platform called PropertyIntelligence.ai. You can actually check them out at PropertyIntelligenceAI.com. Whether an institutional buyer or you're just scaling a private portfolio, you already know this landscape is completely unforgiving. We're going to see exactly how this tech is dragging the industry away from intuition-based guesswork and straight into the future of decision architecture. So let's dive right in. Every single property decision carries weight. Seriously, an acquisition isn't just a simple transaction, right? It's a massive long-term bet on the future. But lurking right behind every multi-million-dollar bet is this incredibly dangerous uncertainty. Markets shift overnight. Neighborhood dynamics completely change. Those initial assumptions you made during underwriting, they can fail spectacularly. What looks like a rock-solid investment today can literally become a distressed liability tomorrow if your market visibility is flawed.
And that's exactly why those assumptions fail. On one side, we have the old reality. Fragmented data, scattered platforms, outdated market reports, and, that dreaded 50-tab Excel workbook that inevitably crashes right before your final investment committee meeting. Historically, the industry has relied heavily on pure experience and gut feeling to patch up the holes in this mess. But here's the hard truth. Intuition just doesn't scale. Fragmented data leads straight to fragmented decisions. We're talking about the painful financial reality of overvalued acquisitions, underperforming assets, and capital just locked up in stalled construction.
So the real crux of the issue is this. The core problem in real estate today is absolutely not a lack of information. Honestly, we're drowning in data. What we actually suffer from is a lack of clarity, a lack of structure. We desperately need intelligent interpretation of the data we're already sitting on. It's about cutting through the noise and chaos and transforming all those scattered signals into one unified, totally reliable picture.
Now, the scale of how technology is solving this is just staggering. Over 120 million. That's the number of individual property records analyzed daily by PropertyIntelligence.ai. It essentially acts as this ultimate intelligence layer for your real estate decisions. By relentlessly aggregating and structuring data across 120 million properties nationwide, it creates this almost omnipresent view of the entire market.
And then there's the speed, 2.3 seconds. That is the average time it takes PropertyIntelligence.ai to take that massive 120 million record data set and instantly turn it into an MBA-level insight report for one specific property. Just let that sink in for a second. What used to take an analyst literally days of compiling comps, pulling risk reports, and building clunky cash flow models is now executed in the time it takes to take a single breath. It's an absolute paradigm shift in how fast we process information.
All of this lightning speed powers a highly sophisticated decision architecture that they call the Master Deal Score Engine. It pulls in over 40 different data sources and creates a weighted adaptive score out of 100. So how does it break down? Well, the engine weights value at 30%. Comparing price against comparable sales. Yield is 25%, looking at gross yield versus the market average. Market demand and rent growth take 20%. Liquidity, basically how fast assets move, is 15%. And finally, risk, which covers economic and environmental factors, sits at 10%. It's a completely balanced, institutional-grade underwriting formula.
Which leads us to the ultimate output: buy, watch, or pass. You see, the system doesn't just hand you a giant data dump and wish you the best of luck. It evaluates the ROI, the debt service coverage ratio, the cap rate, the net cash flow, and then it takes a definitive stance. It hands you an instant mandate backed by rigorous financial metrics. For an investor, getting a clear, strong buy or a definitive pass right off the bat instantly cuts through all that cognitive overload. It lets you allocate your precious time only to the deals that actually make mathematical sense.
But it gets better, because this platform isn't just passively analyzing properties, it's actively hunting. Through live opportunity signals that update every 15 minutes, it surfaces actionable off-market listings, sudden price drops, newly approved zoning changes, and distressed assets like pre-foreclosures, often a full 60 days before they hit the auction block. It even spots neighborhood rental demand surges in real time. Basically, this means you're seeing and acting on high ROI, low competition deals way before the broader market even realizes what's happening.
Of course, making a solid investment isn't just about finding the upside, right? It's absolutely crucial to protect your downside. Imagine you find a property, looks perfect on paper. Cash flow is amazing. But human intuition and your standard MLS listings completely miss the unlisted dangers. We're talking about things like aging water infrastructure, where lead pipe replacements haven't been funded yet, or radon concentration sitting way above EPA action levels,
or even proximity to a high-voltage transmission corridor. The AI catches and quantifies those exact hidden risks instantly, potentially saving you from a disastrous acquisition that could easily wipe out years of hard-earned returns.
Now, the platform knows predicting the future isn't a perfect science. That's exactly why it uses a self-evaluation loop and scenario modeling. Say the AI's confidence score on a property falls below 85% because of limited data or a volatile market. It doesn't just guess. It automatically generates probability-weighted scenarios. It gives you the bull case, like a 29% probability of a buy with a 13 to 16% ROI if demand speeds up. It models the base case, and then the bear case, maybe a 49% probability that rate headwinds hit, dropping your ROI. It handles uncertainty with incredibly precise, adaptive analysis.
And in practice, the impact of this is just massive. Take Sarah Kay, a private equity professional who's analyzed over $48 million in deals using the platform. She noted that it literally, quote, cut our underwriting time from 3 days to 20 minutes per deal, end quote. By plugging into this intelligence layer, institutional players and active investors are gaining an absolutely massive competitive edge. While the competition is stuck spending their entire weekend building spreadsheets, users of this platform are already out there making confident offers.
So let's map out exactly what this new execution reality looks like. Step 1 is clarity. You finally replace messy, conflicting data with a structured, unified system. Step 2 is speed. You're turning analysis that used to take days into insights that take 2.3 seconds. Step 3 is confidence. You eliminate those dangerous blind spots and emotional biases by relying on probability-weighted, AI-driven risk models. And finally, step 4 is advantage. You move faster than your competition on the right deals and completely avoid the hidden traps they fall into.
Bringing it all together, we arrive at this fundamental shift. Less uncertainty, more intelligence, better decisions. That is the core philosophy of what we've unpacked today. The days of relying on fragmented, gut-feeling intuition are coming to a close. The future truly belongs to those who leverage structured, instantaneous intelligence to build much stronger, far more predictable real estate portfolios.
So, I want to leave you with a final provocative thought. In a market where literally millions of dollars hinge on a single assumption, can you really afford to keep relying on fragmented, unscalable intuition? It is time to step into the future of real estate decision architecture. Go visit propertyintelligenceai.com to see the ultimate AI decision engine in action and discover your next deal. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.